This is KVUE News Daybreak.
An ambush on the Diamond. A lone gunman attacks Republican lawmakers on a baseball field. How the tragedy is bringing people together and what we're learning about the shooting.
And President Trump now the focus of the Russian investigation. The new information we're learning about that case.
And on edge, a local resident's home vandalized multiple times dating all the way back to November. But the one thing that happened recently that he says pushed him over the edge.
Well, good Thursday morning to you. Thank you so much for watching KVUE News Daybreak. I'm Brandon Jones, filling in for Brian Mays.
And I'm Yvonne Navo. Yeah, we keep talking about these temperatures. They remain above average today, but still, it's stifling.
Just a little hot out.
Just a little hot. You're being kind. You are being kind. Let's check out the forecast and head on over to Erica.
All right. Yeah, a toasty forecast continues. It's been a long, warm week, hasn't it? That's going to push through our weekend. At least we're quiet in terms of rain shower activity on the radar, but lots of low-level clouds out there. A south wind continues to dominate central Texas, so that's given us a mostly cloudy start to our day this afternoon. Sunshine should peak out to a mostly sunny afternoon by early afternoon or so. Our forecasted highs mid to upper 90s today. We're calling it 96 here in Austin, so keep in mind, feel like temperatures are going to be much warmer and dangerous. Here's a look at some heat safety tips. Most importantly, I think just make sure to continue to keep yourself hydrated throughout the day. Anavid has an update on traffic. How are the roads shaping up?
Well, good news here. Lamar Boulevard is now open in both directions after an earlier overnight crash that happened when a bicyclist was hit by two vehicles. So that is good news for you if you're heading out the door this morning. Let's check on your drive times. I-35 northbound Buda to downtown, a 16-minute commute, 17 minutes. I-35 southbound Round Rock to downtown. If you're traveling on Mopac southbound 45 to downtown, 14 minutes, and green light here, 2222 to Cesar Chavez. Guys, back to you at the desk.
All right, we want to give you some background information on that accident that Anavid was talking about, the one that has cleared since. This is video from before it was cleared. This was the one overnight. Bicyclist is still in the hospital this morning, recovering from life-threatening injuries after that crash near downtown Austin. It happened just before 1 near North Lamar and 6th Street. Police say two vehicles, a white van and a black car, collided in the intersection, crashing into a bicyclist headed southbound on Lamar. The driver of the black car has been arrested for a DWI. Police say no one in the cars were taken to the hospital. Again, that accident has since been cleared.
Well, new this morning, a shipping terminal in the port of Charleston in South Carolina will reopen today after a report of a dirty bomb on a container ship. Crew members and port workers were evacuated last night, and a section of the Cooper River was closed. A Coast Guard captain says a YouTube conspiracy theorist reported the suspected threat. That person is now being detained for questioning. No one was hurt.
We are united in our shock. We are united in our anguish. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us.
All right, now to the latest in that congressional ambush just outside of Washington, D.C. One Republican lawmaker still in critical condition after being shot by a gunman who opened fire on him and a group of GOP lawmakers at a baseball practice in Virginia. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is in Alexandria, where the shooter opened fire on the congressional baseball team.
A blaze of gunshots fired at Republican congressmen at a baseball diamond just 8 miles from Capitol Hill in Alexandria, Virginia. The gunshots erupted at 7 a.m. Wednesday morning. 26 Republican members of Congress practicing for their annual charity baseball game against Democrats, some seeking refuge in the dugout.
There's also a victim down in the baseball field.
That victim, Congressman Steve Scalise of Louisiana, with a rifle shot to the left hip, medevaced off the field. The House Majority Whip's Capitol Police security detail, 2 agents firing back at the shooter from behind an SUV, according to witnesses. Both officers injured. Within minutes, local police joining in the gun battle. The shooter, 66-year-old James Hodgkinson, is down at 7-14. The unemployed Illinois man had reportedly been in the Washington area for a couple of months, living out of his van, and had a long and public history of anti-Trump and anti-Republican rhetoric.
There was an individual, middle-aged Caucasian male, that asked us, hey, is that Republicans, Democrats, what? And we're like, Republicans. And then he kind of turned and went towards the field.
Unclear if that was Hodgkinson asking the question, but he is now dead. In all, 4 shot. The congressman, one of the Capitol police officers, a staffer, and lobbyists. 2 others injured. Overnight, President Trump and the First Lady met with doctors at the hospital treating Representative Scalise and the Capitol Hill police officer. It wasn't just the field here hit with gunfire, car windows, local businesses, the local YMCA down the street, their windows shattered by bullets. As for the game that lawmakers were practicing for, that charity game is still on for tonight at Nationals Park. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Alexandria, Virginia.
One of the victims, Zach Barth, an aide to Congressman Roger Williams from North Texas, is a former University of Texas student. One of his former professors, Sean Theriot, is wishing Barth a speedy recovery.
I hope that he uses this tragedy as a way to double down his interest in politics and helping us move our country along rather than extinguish the passion that he has for it.
Barth's family lives in Houston, but when he was shot, his younger sister says their father rushed to help him.
My brother and my dad are extremely close, so whenever my brother said, "Dad, I really want you here," my dad booked a ticket that moment and was on a plane to D.C.
So we're told Barth got out of the hospital last night, and his family says he is doing well this morning.
6:06 is your time, and a special counsel investigating Russian interference in the 2016 election is reportedly now looking into whether President Trump tried to obstruct justice. Sources tell the Washington Post that Robert Mueller is planning to interview the director of national intelligence and the head of the NSA following reports that the president had asked them to intervene in the Russia probe. President Trump has continued to deny any connection to the 2016 election meddling.
And President Trump is taking to Twitter to talk about the investigation. He wrote just a few minutes ago they made a phony collusion with the Russian story, found 0 proof, and so far they've gone for obstruction of justice on the phony story. Nice.
Well, 6:06, and police here searching for the person who spray painted a pink swastika onto a couple's car this week. The South Austin man says he's more annoyed than nervous, but his wife was really upset by the symbol. He believes the swastika might have something to do with the sign on his property.
It might have something to do with my anti-Trump sign, that people kept stealing them. And I'd move them higher and they'd steal them again. When they kept stealing my signs, I wrote some sort of a note that that's kind of a Nazi thing to do. And next thing I know, I get a Nazi sign.
Austin police are also investigating a similar report nearby. They aren't sure if it's related. If you happen to have any information about the case, please call police.
Well, happening today, the decades-long juvenile curfew that allows police to ticket and sometimes arrest minors who are found out late at night could come to an end. Jay Wallace is in the newsroom to explain why this ordinance could go away. Jay?
Hey, Brendan. Well, every 3 years, the City Council votes to reauthorize or repeal this 27-year-old curfew. And today, we are at that 3-year mark, with support to end the ordinance growing in recent weeks, with one of the strongest voices coming from Councilmember Greg Casar, bringing up that Latinos and blacks receive the bulk of these citations. He says he wants to focus on building up these kids through positive reinforcement and through programs and involvement rather than police interaction. He also sees the harm from this curfew coming from the fact that these minor offenses are making it more difficult for them, the kids, to get jobs because of a created criminal record.
I want to do everything possible to not give people criminal records, which keeps them from getting jobs, which makes things less safe for our community. And also, we have a scarce amount of public safety resources. So I'd rather have our police working on other issues rather than ticketing thousands of juveniles for harmless behavior.
Casar says he also plans to start bringing to the table alternatives to this curfew system in the form of programs and new approaches to reach the kids and better understand what is going on outside of the school and in the classroom, because he said the main goal for the council is to keep as many of these kids in those schools. Also today, the City Council will consider a new policy that would require business moving into the area to be responsible for dealing with the loud concerts and loud noise. Live in the newsroom, Jay Wallace, KVUE News.
All right, thank you so much, Jay. And Austin City Council is also considering changing the rules when it comes to kids and lemonade stands. Council members are thinking about making sure the rules state kids don't need the official permits to pay for the formal fees if they want to set up a stand in their neighborhood.
Well, during the hot Texas summer, Meals on Wheels volunteers are delivering more than just lunches. They're also performing safety checks for thousands of senior citizens. Older adults are more likely to get heat-related illnesses, and sometimes they can't afford the high utility bills during the summer months. Meals on Wheels is trying to help out here. So volunteers have begun making sure that their clients are able to stay cool and hydrated. It's always nice to kind of check up on our seniors, make sure they're okay. As far as the heat, though, definitely another scorcher.
Yeah, for sure. We're talking still above average temperatures, even starting this morning. Normally, we should be at about 72 degrees for your overnight low. Here's what we're waking up to this morning. Upper 70s for a lot of folks. Kingsland, 78 degrees. LBJ Ranch at 76 in Blanco. You're still in the mid-70s, so still above average. Austin currently at 76. Pflugerville, a degree cooler, and some lower 70s for our eastern counties, but everyone's pretty much in the mid-70s. Here's what it's going to feel like today. By about 9 a.m., already feeling like mid-80s. Lunchtime plans, possibly outdoor patios. You may want to change those to indoor lunch plans because it's going to feel close to 100 degrees, but this afternoon, 103. Actually, I think it's going to feel more like 104. That's what we're shooting for here in the Austin metro area. I'm going to have your pool forecast later on this morning and also Father's Day weekend forecast. Temperatures are going to get even toastier, so I'll break down the details for that later on this morning.
All right, thank you so much, Erica. Well, fans of NBA champions Golden State Warriors can cheer the team on during a parade and rally today. The fun will begin at 10 a.m. in downtown Oakland. More than 1 million fans are expected to line the parade route here. Golden State defeated the Cavaliers 129-120 in Game 5 of the NBA Finals on Monday, marking the team's second win in 3 years. And some of us are still reeling because LeBron James just didn't win.
I know. By the way, though, if you're going to celebrate with champagne and all that, you're going to be popping bottles like they did. That's the way to do it. Did you see that big old ski mask?
You got to.
That way you can still enjoy your party and your celebration, but it doesn't mess with your eyes.
Right.
Those are some big goggles.
Hey, you want to go blind now.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, if you're in the market for a new phone, you may want to pay attention to this morning.
Yes, the smartphones that have been rated the best for battery life and screen display.
And officials are still searching for those inside that charred high-rise apartment building in London. The new video we're seeing as the building went up in flames. We'll be right back.